Long before dinosaurs walked across the Earth, our planet was already filled with strange, powerful, and sometimes terrifying creatures. When we imagine prehistoric life, we usually think of dinosaurs, but dinosaurs appeared relatively late in Earth's history. Millions of years before the first dinosaur ever existed, completely different animals ruled the oceans, forests, and ancient landscapes. One of the most incredible worlds existed during the Cambrian period, more than 500 million years ago. The oceans were filled with bizarre creatures unlike anything alive today. One of the most famous was Anomalocaris, a giant predator that could grow to around a meter long. It had large eyes, grasping appendages, and a circular mouth designed for hunting. But the ancient oceans became even more dangerous. Hundreds of millions of years later, during the Devonian period, enormous armored fish dominated the seas. One of the most terrifying was Dunkleosteus. This massive predator had no ordinary teeth. Instead, it had enormous blade-like jaw plates that could slice through its prey. Imagine swimming through an ancient ocean and suddenly seeing a giant armored fish charging toward you. But the oceans weren't the only place filled with monsters. On land, giant arthropods once crawled through prehistoric forests. Arthropleura was a gigantic relative of modern millipedes that could reach more than 2 meters in length. With its long, segmented body and dozens of legs, it would have looked like something from a nightmare. Then came the Permian period. This was the world of Dimetrodon, one of the most recognizable predators to exist before dinosaurs. Although it looked somewhat like a dinosaur, Dimetrodon was actually a synapsid, more closely related to mammals than to dinosaurs. Its most striking feature was the enormous sail running along its back. Scientists believe this structure may have helped regulate body temperature, although its exact purpose is still debated. And then, around 252 million years ago, Earth experienced the greatest mass extinction in its history. The Permian-Triassic extinction wiped out most marine species and many species on land. Entire ecosystems disappeared, but life survived, and from the survivors of this catastrophic event, new animals would eventually emerge and dominate the planet. Among them would be the first true dinosaurs. So the next time you think about prehistoric monsters, remember this: dinosaurs were not the beginning of Earth's story. They were simply the next chapter. Long before their arrival, the planet had already produced predators, giants, and creatures far stranger than anything we can imagine today.